Welcome to another video from Play Simple Chords. In this video I'm going to continue with the concept of how to learn a chord in different keys and then be able to play it without having to try to move it up in half steps or some other method. You'll be able to see the chord, how it's structured, and immediately go to its position in the key and form it. And the chord I'm going to use in this example is a very common chord in gospel music. It's the 7, the dominant 7 with a sharp 9 and a sharp 5. Here's an example of how most people have probably heard it. So this is the chord, and you can add the root and 7th together in the right hand, or you can just play the bass note. But if you saw this chord and you were playing the song in another key, or you were playing the song and you wanted to add that chord as a passing chord, how would you go about playing that chord? Say if you were going to use it as a passing chord on D flat, for example. Well, let's take a look at the chord. Okay, we know we have the root and the 7 because we're talking about a dominant chord, and we're going to sharp the 5 and sharp the 9. Well, in this scale for the chord, we're dealing with F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you're back to the root. So your 2, if you're going to sharp it, you're going to raise it. So you're going to play G sharp. Your 5, if it's going to be sharped, it's going to be raised. So you're going to play C sharp. So you're going to play these 2 notes with these 2 notes. Okay. So you could take that, put it on top. You have this note, and then you could add the 3rd. Okay, that's one way to find a chord. But how about this way? We know that we need the 3rd and the 7th to make the chord major or minor or dominant. Okay? So we're going to have these 2 notes for sure. Then we're going to sharp the 2, sharp the 5. And we could put the sharp 9 on top. We could double the 7th, and then we add the 3rd because we need that. Okay. But an easier way to do that is to recognize that you're going to form the right hand chord based on the 3rd of the scale. The 3rd of the chord, the 3rd of the scale. Okay? Because we're in the key of F for this chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to the root. So we know we need the 3rd, and we know we need the 7th. So an easy way to find this chord is just to make a major chord built based on the 3rd. Okay? So we have a major chord based on the 3rd. Now to create the chord that we want, all we have to do is lower the 3rd of this major chord. And now we have the dominant 7. Sharp 9, sharp 5. Is it that simple? Yes. Let's take another example. Right? So we want to play a C major 7. And then we want to drop the 3rd a half step, lower, and then play that A flat. Now we have an A flat, dominant 7, sharp 5, sharp 9. Let's try it on E flat. Now, I know that's kind of low and it's muddy, but it's so that the bass note is down there. But what I want you to see is the third of E flat is G. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and make a major 7 on G. Make sure it's a major 7, not a dominant 7. Major 7 on G. And then we're going to lower this note a half step. Now play the E flat. Now you have a E flat, dominant 7, sharp 9, sharp 5. So now that you know this, you could find this chord very easily in whatever chord progression you're playing based on whatever bass note you want to use this chord on. All you have to remember is play the third of the scale as a major 7th chord, and then drop the third of the major 7th chord down a half step, and you will now have the right hand chord that goes with the left hand bass to make a dominant 7, sharp 9, sharp 5. So I hope this helps somebody, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you to those who stuck through this video to the end. During the narration, I made some mental mistakes, and I corrected it in the notes. But here's a gift for sticking around. Remember, we were using the F, dominant 7, sharp 5, sharp 9. And the part I corrected was you're using the major 7th chord based on the third note of the scale for the chord that is the chord you're trying to build this dominant 7th, sharp 9, sharp 5 on. So A major 7, you lower the 5th of A. You make that chord in your right hand and have the root and the 7th in your left hand. Now, this whole idea is to get you to see that if you visualize how a chord is structured, you can take that and transpose it very easily to another key. Now, what you ought to see in this key is that the majority of the chords in the right hand, the notes in the right hand, are an A suspended chord. Excuse me, A flat suspended chord. And with that A flat suspended chord, you're adding the root, doubling the 7th, and you're adding the 3rd. So what do you have here if you take the root out? You have that rootless chord that everybody talks about. Is how do you voice some of these rootless chords. Now, a typical way that you would hear this progression is now you can play the rootless version of this and then still go. So you take that concept and apply it, noticing that the chord that you're making the suspended chord off of, or the note you're making the suspended chord off of, is the flatted note. The 3rd is the flatted note. So you're basically taking an F minor chord, making the 3rd, which is the flat 3rd of the F, it's making it a suspended chord, and then just add the 3rd and 7th of the chord you're trying to build. So for an example, okay, we have C, easy for everybody to see. The flat 3rd in C, the minor 3rd, is E flat. So you play an E flat suspended chord, and then what's the 3rd and the 7th of C? So let's move that up so it's not so muddy. E flat suspended. First, there's your E chord, there's your suspended. Okay, E flat suspended. We have the third, the seventh. So using that same concept, if we were using C, we're going to use an E major seventh and lower the fifth. But basically this way, now you know that you can make that suspended chord and create the rootless voicing for a dominant seventh sharp 5. Thank you for watching my tutorials. Simple chords are the building blocks for making advanced chords. And I hope you find that these tutorials are helpful to you on your musical journey. Please like, subscribe, and share these tutorials with others who have a desire to learn how to play music at the piano. I look forward to sharing other tutorials with you in future videos.